it's over. Okay, we saw the live stream. Global passives are here for CASTORICE, and it's here to stay. Now, I want to say I told you so, but maybe now it's not the right time. But I did tell you so. They completely ignored all criticism of CASTORICE. They didn't even acknowledge it. Like in my thing, I said that they would blame the leakers. They would say that it's all leaks and giving some false information or whatever, and just lie about that. But they just completely ignored it because they can afford to. Because the people who are critical of this is a minority. They are not the majority. Majority of people don't watch like content about the game. They just maybe at most watch a guide on how to build their favorite character and then never look back, you know. So global passives are here to stay. So now what does this mean? Personally, I feel like CASTORICE's passive itself is not too bad. It's just a res, right? Like it'll prevent you from dying, but it's not gonna give you more damage or anything. So if your characters are not well built, you're still not gonna be able to clear any of the difficult stuff. Like it gives you a safety net, but it's not really gonna like make you extra strong. But the real problem with it is in the future, where now that CASTORICE has a global passive, how do they make a character that can power creep CASTORICE? Well, they need another character with a global passive, and this other character is gonna have a global passive that's gonna increase your damage. Maybe it'll increase, you know, other aspects like break effect hit rate, speed, attack percentage, or even more like game breaking stuff. Like I don't know, maybe it's like it gives you a skill points or something like that, which can make like someone like Sparkle redundant. Like imagine you get a character and then from then on you have like 6 skill points instead of 5. Like that is kind of the future we're looking at, because Hoya has, I think, reached a point with power creep where they're not really able to play within the rules they set for themselves. So they constantly need to break the rules to redefine the meta. Like I would say this, for me personally, this started with Firefly and the whole break effect thing. The ability to implant a weakness completely negates the whole match this character with this elemental type with the enemy of this elemental type, right? Like that was the rule before, and then they just like break characters, basically ignore that rule. Like break characters who can implement their weakness, ignore that rule. You could say Boothill was also like that, but Boothill is not as consistent. Like his ult to do it, it takes a while, and I wouldn't say it's as effective as like Firefly, where you can just E-skill into the fight and then every enemy who appears on the screen has a fire weakness instantly and it doesn't even matter, you know. So I think personally Firefly is the point where they were starting to like really push like and like break the rules of the game. And now we saw Anaxa, who has the ability to implement every single weakness in the game with an ultimate to all the characters in the field. So everyone on the field gets all the weaknesses in the game when Anaxa does his ult. That's insane. Like again, it's breaking the rules of the game. It's like if you're playing chess, instead of like a pawn going 1 step forward, it just goes like 5 steps forward and then goes to the right and then kills the bishop. Like that's not, you're not supposed to do that, but that's how Hoyo is now treating the game, where the rules don't matter, you know. And yeah, like currently I don't think it's as bad, but in the future, as more and more characters get introduced, as they feel the need to improve upon CASTORICE, they will probably do stuff like this. And even Anaxa, like I said, Anaxa already has like a rule breaking ability. CASTORICE has a rule breaking ability. How do you make another character? You know, you have to make another one. You can't just keep giving them bigger multipliers and just increasing the health pool of enemies, right? So they're gonna introduce more characters who break the rules, like one that can give you 6 skill points. You have a character in your game now, every single team has 6 skill points, doesn't matter, you know. Or maybe there's another character who comes along and it's like the break effect of everyone is increased by like 50%. Or maybe there's another one which can slow down enemies by like 50%. So like the speed of the enemy goes down, so you get more turns. Like it could be anything at this point, because like I said, they're just completely thrown the rules out the window. It doesn't even matter. And yeah, that's not ideal, because then it's just gonna be a very simple formula of whoever the newer character is, their ability, their rule breaking ability is the meta, and if you want to stay on top of the game, you need to have that character. and eventually characters who do follow all the rules, like characters who are built within the framework of the game, they become redundant. And not just redundant, they feel bad to use. Like, have you ever been in school and you follow all the rules, or like you do all the work in the assignment, and then some kid just pops up, they don't do anything, they don't listen to the teacher, but just because they like, I don't know, their parents are rich, or they have like their dad invested money in the school or something, they just get by everything. Like the teachers are lenient to them, everyone is a bit kinder to them, even like the supervisor or principal comes into the class, they are like, you know, trying to like be friendly with them and like get close to them. It's like, it feels like that. Like if you use a character who follows or like plays within the rule, and then you have a character who breaks the rules, like it just feels, it gets to a point where it's not just that you need this character for meta and all that stuff, it gets to a point where playing with the other characters feels like you're a step behind, or like you're being unfairly treated. I think that's the real like crux of the issue, right? Like power creep is gonna happen no matter what. Like in a gacha game, eventually there's gonna be power creep no matter what. And I think people can be accepting of that to some degree, but when it feels like you're being punished for having a character that follows the rules of the game, the rules of the game that Hoyo themselves set, and then they just release a character who breaks all the rules, and it's like, yeah, I don't care about the rules, you know, I don't need to pay attention to what elemental type there is, I don't need to worry about dying because I have CASTORICE, I have, it's not a good feel. And it just feels like the rule is just whatever Hoyo decides. Like if Hoyo tomorrow wakes up and says, hey, from now on Honkai Star Rail is no longer a turn-based game, it's an action game, like imagine that. Okay, this would actually be cool. In one of the Yakuza, like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, I think you can get Kiryu as, this is a tangent, you can get Kiryu as a character now. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and all that, the one with the new character, it's all a turn-based game, right? They change from the action style to the turn-based style. But then if you have Kiryu in your party, he can use a skill where it goes back to like an action sequence. So instead of like selecting an ability in a turn-based fashion, you can just punch people. Like you can just walk up to them, beat them up, and use heat actions and stuff. Imagine if they release a character like that, where it's like where it's like the game stops being a turn-based game, and like for like that character's ultimate, you can just walk up to an enemy and beat them up. I mean, that would be pretty sick. I don't think they would do it, but it does sound pretty sick. Okay, I get the, oh god, this has gone into like some crazy tangents, but yeah, I think at the moment, to conclude, right, at the moment I think it's fine, it's not that big of a difference. Like sure, people might be upset, but it doesn't really matter. But overall, the way this is gonna lead up in the future is not a good place, and this could genuinely break the game in a way that cannot be fixed. Like I would even say it can break the game beyond what, like how people say Genshin is broken. Genshin is broken mainly because the enemies are not good. Like the characters and their abilities themselves are, other than exploration abilities, right? Like correct me if I'm wrong, other than Genshin's character exploration abilities and I guess power creep, like through multipliers, like damage multipliers, Genshin doesn't really have any character who breaks the game mechanics. I don't think so, right? But Honkai Star Rail does. Like I said, Firefly implanting weakness, that's a game-breaking mechanic. Now CASTORICE is a global passive, and future characters with a global passive, game-breaking mechanic. And Axa's ability to just put every single weakness on all the enemies on the field, game-breaking mechanic, one that destroys the rules of the game. I can't think of anything like that in Genshin. Like, there's not a character in Genshin who can, I don't know, use Pyro and Hydro to create an overload reaction. You know, like, imagine if that was the case. But no, there's nothing like that. Every single character in Genshin kind of follows the rules. The only annoying thing is that in every new zone, they introduce, like, wacky stuff, like the Night Soul points. I don't like the Night Soul point stuff. It's so annoying. And once you move out of Natlan, it's like, what's the point? The characters suck, you know? But, yeah. That's where the game's headed. Not a good place. I think there's still some fun to be had. I don't know though. Personally, for me, this doesn't change much for me. Like, I'm just gonna try to get CASTORICE. I don't have pity. I'm kind of screwed, but hopefully with all the rewards I can make up for it. But I mean, I don't know, man. The story is fine. Like, I liked Triby's story towards the end, but up till the point to the end, it was such a chore to just get there. It took so long to get there. And Amorphous region it's all right. I'm not really a fan of it personally. I think Penacony and the other zones were better. I forget the name of the other zones. Bellabog, Penacony and Bellabog were much better for me personally. But I think, I don't know. I hope like this update they did talk a lot about making the story better, like more cutscenes, more interactive stuff, and other quests to like fill in some of the details that are missing from the Penacony story. So I hope they improve upon the story, and that the story becomes engaging enough that even the meta stuff can be like overlooked, which is kind of what I've been doing with Genshin. Like I don't try any of the end game stuff on Genshin. I just play for the story and then I don't play the game at all. Right. I think Honkai Star is probably gonna end up being like that with the way the game is turning out. Like they are actively deconstructing the gameplay that they built for all this time, with every new character. It's like, let's break another rule. So guys, imagine if there's oh my god, this is something I didn't even speak about. Dude, remembrance characters with the Mimo sprites, that's a game breaking mechanic because you have 5 characters in your team now, right? Because the Mimo sprite is like a separate character and you can use them to generate skill points and stuff. That's a game break. I completely forgot to mention this. Mimo sprites are game breaking characters because they are a 5th character in a 4-team squad, technically speaking. And even if they do nothing, you can use them to generate skill points, and like the skill point place completely changes when you have 5 characters instead of 4. So I didn't hear anyone talk about this, by the way. I don't know why this is not something that anyone like even mentioned. Like that is another, every Mimo sprite character is a game breaking character. But yeah, that's just me, I guess. But yeah, I hope they improve the story enough so that I can just keep playing it for that. Meta, I mean, I still enjoy building characters, like just getting the relics and building them up. And, but yeah, I think the first enjoyment I had in this game where I would build like my own teams and like customize my own teams and, try to make niches. Like I had this team where I played with Boot Hill and, goddammit, what is the name of Shuei's sister, the one who gives you a skill point and advances your speed and stuff? I forget, I'm sorry. But I made a team with Boot Hill and that woman and then something else and just a healer and I guess a Ruanmei. And I remember playing on that team and I cleared some content. I also remember using when Boot Hill released, before I pulled for Boot Hill, I used Luca to clear the MOC 12, like a Luca break team. And like Luca's a 4-star, right? Like he's not even close to the power of Boot Hill. So using him to clear MOC 12 just by using the buffs like effectively, there's like a video on it on my channel like somewhere, I think, on my older channel. But yeah, like that kind of stuff I think is gonna disappear because, like I said, with the way Hoyo said it, every new character, that new character and their specific team is just gonna be the meta, and the difference in power just in multipliers or ability is gonna be so high that the concept of using a character like a 4-star character to clear MOC 12, I'm sure you can do it if you put an absurd amount of time, effort and grinding to the point you go insane like that. But it's not really going to be something that someone like me could do, where I can't spend that much money on the game, or nor do I have the time to just grind every single day. Like I don't. I feel like stuff like that, which is stuff I really enjoy in the game, is going to slowly disappear, or it's just going to be like much more difficult to the point where it's not even worth trying, or like it's actually more frustrating to try and do that than it is fun, at least for me. I don't know, maybe other people will find it different, but yeah, that's where the direction the game's headed. Yeah, so what do you guys think? That's one of the things I talked about in the previous thing was how the people who complain about this stuff is like a very big minority. Like most people don't care, they don't even pay attention. They're just like, oh, this cool character, their animations are cool, I want her. Like that's all people care about. So hey, if you watched so far, what do you think? Do you care about the global passives? Are you gonna keep playing the game? What's the most fun part for you in this game? Is it the story? Is it the characters? Do you enjoy meta building? Do you enjoy breaking the meta and trying to create your own unique stuff? Yeah, let me know. Feel free to let me know. But that's all for now. I've rambled on for, 15 minutes, but that's more than enough. Yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.